What would have netted him an F in biology class became one of the most important medical discoveries of the century. After coming back from a 2-week vacation, Alexander Fleming discovered that one of his culture plates developed mold that happened to prevent the growth of bacteria. That mold would go on to save an estimated 200 million lives. Wall Street was bombed and the perpetrators were never caught. On September 16, 1920, someone piloted a horse-drawn cart into the heart of Wall Street during the lunch rush. Minutes later it exploded, killing more than 30 people and injuring 300. It had to be said, in 1920, it wasn't technically illegal to send your kid via the US Postal Services. Large parcel shipping. Since postage was cheaper than a train ticket, some in rural America took advantage and sent their children with the mailman to see grandma. The best thing since sliced bread. What did they say before 1928? This was the year that a Missouri baker used Otto Friedrich's new invention to sell pre-sliced loaves. Oddly enough, they didn't sell very well at first, because they looked sloppy. Flagpole sitting. If you thought planking was weird, the 1920s had something just as crazy. Among some of the strangest fads that turned into crazes across the country, climbing up and sitting on the top of a flagpole for as long as possible became all the rage. Some people were so convinced that Prohibition, the noble experiment, would work so well that crime would almost disappear, so towns across the US tried to sell their jailhouses. But not only did the crime increase during Prohibition, the criminals themselves rose to a celebrity status. During the Tulsa Race Massacre, which occurred over 18 hours, from May 31st to June 1st, 1921, a white mob attacked residents, homes and businesses in the predominantly black Greenwood neighborhood of Tulsa, Oklahoma. The event remains one of the worst incidents of racial violence in US history. Flappers of the 1920s were young women known for their energetic freedom, embracing a lifestyle viewed by many at the time as outrageous, immoral, or downright dangerous, now considered the first generation of independent American women. The Scopes trial, also known as Scopes Monkey Trial, was a 1925 prosecution of science teacher John Scopes for teaching evolution in a Tennessee public school, which a recent bill had made illegal. Sold until 1927, the Model T vehicle by the Ford Motor Company pretty much defined the 1920s. The affordable car helped rural America connect to other parts of the country. This led to the creation of the numbered highway system throughout the US that's still known today. The movies were attended far more than today. People were often going more than once per week. By the end of the decade, weekly movie attendances increased to 90 million people, a sample prescription from the 1920s. The American aviator Charles Lindbergh became the first pilot to achieve a non-stop solo flight across the Atlantic Ocean, flying for 33.5 hours in a single-engine airplane called the Spirit of St. Louis. In 1927, he was awarded the French Legion of Honor and the Distinguished Flying Cross for his great achievement. On February 28, 1920, an American pilot set a record for flying a high altitude, reaching 33,500 feet. His oxygen system failed and he lost consciousness, recovering just in time to land. In 1920, the 19th Amendment to the Constitution ratified giving women the right to vote for the first time in the US.